Bryan Kohberger, the man accused of one of the most chilling mass murders in recent American memory, is now locked inside the most secure prison in Idaho. But what's really happening behind those heavily fortified walls? What does his life look like in isolation? And who is he becoming behind bars? This is Whispers of Crime, Motive, and Murder, your go-to for gripping, real true crime cases that unravel motive, mystery, and murder. Subscribe for more exclusive inside looks and revelations just like this one. Now let's take you deep inside Idaho Max, where Bryan Kohberger lives in near total solitude and silence. After his arrest in late December 2022, Bryan Kohberger was transferred to Latta County Jail, where he awaited the beginning of legal proceedings for the murders of four University of Idaho students, Kaylee Goncalves, Madison Mogan, Xana Kernadle, and Ethan Chapin. But since late 2023, Kohberger's world has changed dramatically, now unfolding within the bleak and fortified walls of Idaho Maximum Security Institution, IMSI, in Kuna, Idaho. This is not just any prison. IMSI is Idaho's most secure facility. It houses death row inmates, high-risk offenders, and those deemed the most dangerous in the state. And Kohberger, despite not yet being convicted, is under maximum security protocols due to the nature of his charges, the media attention, and concerns for both his safety and the integrity of the case. Kohberger lives alone, confined to a 10-by-7-foot concrete cell. The cell contains a stainless steel toilet, a bolted-down bunk, and a narrow slit of reinforced glass for a window, offering minimal light and zero view. Everything is designed to prevent self-harm, escape, or contraband use. Even his bedding is made of suicide-resistant materials. The lights are dim, and cameras monitor him constantly, though not inside the cell directly. Privacy laws still apply. Guards check on him every 30 minutes, and some reports indicate that mental health personnel evaluate him periodically to ensure he's not deteriorating mentally under the crushing weight of isolation. Unlike general population inmates, Kohberger has zero interaction with other prisoners. He eats alone. He showers alone. His daily recreation is limited to 1 hour per day in a fenced concrete yard, alone. No books from a prison library. No TV in his cell. No access to email. All communication is closely monitored, even mail. Sources familiar with the Idaho DOC system say this is standard for someone under administrative segregation, especially high-profile pretrial inmates like Kohberger. The authorities fear retaliation from other inmates and potential risks if he were allowed to mix with the general population. Though there's a strict blackout on interviews, corrections officers have reportedly described Kohberger as quiet, polite, and intensely watchful. He reportedly rarely speaks unless spoken to, and when he does, it's measured and calm. Some guards have noted his obsessive hygiene habits, washing repeatedly, pacing, and making his bed with mechanical precision. According to one anonymous prison worker, he's always alert, always listening. You can see it in his eyes, like he's trying to observe everyone else just as much as they're watching him. He reportedly maintains a journal, writing frequently with the pens he's allowed. But what he writes about remains unknown. Authorities intercept and review everything leaving or entering his cell, including correspondence from the outside world. Family visits? Virtually non-existent. Kohberger's parents have not made any public statement or confirmed visits to the prison. Visitation in IMSI is highly restricted and, for security reasons, even legal visits are done behind bulletproof glass with recorded audio. As for mail, Kohberger is allowed to receive non-contraband letters, but everything is open, screened, and logged. Prison officials say he's received dozens, ranging from hate mail to fan letters to bizarre messages from conspiracy theorists. Inside Idaho Max, Kohberger is allowed limited access to legal documents and a small law library, escorted and timed. He meets with his defense team periodically, but even those visits are heavily monitored. The defense has pushed back against the conditions of his confinement, citing prejudicial treatment. However, prosecutors argue the security restrictions are necessary, given the public scrutiny, high profile of the case, and possible risks from both inmates and outside sources. Is Kohberger coping or crumbling? That's the million-dollar question. One prison psychologist, who declined to speak on record, said inmates in Kohberger's position often undergo severe psychological strain after 6 to 8 months in isolation. Symptoms include paranoia, depression, obsessive behavior, and emotional flatness. If Kohberger is experiencing these, it hasn't leaked publicly, but prison records confirm that mental health evaluations are ongoing. Some speculate that his eerie calmness may be part of a deliberate persona. Others suggest he's mentally deteriorating behind closed doors, but masking it well. Meanwhile, IMSI staff remain on high alert. Every movement involving Kohberger requires multiple guards. His food is checked for tampering, and any contact with staff is logged. The entire facility treats his presence as a potential security flashpoint. Not because of what he might do, but because of what might happen to him. And while Kohberger waits in that gray, windowless cell, the world outside keeps turning. The case is slowly grinding forward in court. Motions filed, hearings scheduled, and the specter of the death penalty looming large over every proceeding. But here's the chilling part. Kohberger knows the system. He studied criminology. He interned with law enforcement. He allegedly tried to understand what makes a killer tick. Now he's inside the very machinery he once dissected in class, living among those he once studied, possibly believing he still holds control. Or is he starting to unravel? The trial is fast approaching. And with each day in that windowless box, we're left wondering, what is Bryan Kohberger thinking? And what will he do when the doors to the courtroom finally open again? This is Whispers of Crime, Motive and Murder. Subscribe and follow, because in the next episode, we're diving into Kohberger's eerie academic past and the disturbing connections between his research and the crimes he's accused of.